Our next speaker is vitally important to what we're doing in this world. On the 2020 election, I had a big event at the Sheraton Sand Key. We had like a couple hundred people there, and I left at 2 o'clock in the morning. And we were winning. We were winning every state. And I got home at like 2:30. I remember I did a Facebook post that night on my driving home. I get up at 5:30 to get my son ready for school, and I saw that graph where it went like this, and then it shot up like an F, and I'm like, that F stands for what the just happened, So we need to stop that. It doesn't matter, who we vote for if it's all just corrupt and we don't have somebody like watching, what's going on. And I went to the event that they had out there at the Supervisor of Elections. And I was surprised that they were talking about what was going on with our elections. And I'm not an expert in any of this stuff, so I'm not. But I was surprised that the person who we elected did not come out to engage us. I was furious about that, I was furious that Julie Marcus didn't come out and say, look, I'll talk to you about anything. She works for us. And that day I made a commitment. I said, if Chris Gleason runs, I'll write him a check for $1,000. So I'm going to give him a check for $1,000. Chris, where you at? And the message here, guys, is that the first and most important thing in our election is the person who monitors and controls the election. We need somebody that's either not bought or paid for or is accountable to us. And that day, Julie Marcus wouldn't come out. And I'm like, why isn't she coming out? We are coming here. That's like going to a restaurant and you have a terrible meal and you're like, I want to speak to the owner or the manager, and they just refuse to come out. Would you ever go back to that restaurant again? So why would we go back to the same supervisor of elections if she would not come out and serve us? So guys, with that, I'm not a rich man. You guys have blessed me with MAGA Realty and some other things I've done in the past, and I'm grateful for that. But I committed to give $1,000, and I did it as a ceremonial thing to kind of splash the pot. And I wanted to, let everybody know that, there's other people, and people should be giving money. If you got $5, if you got $10, if you got $2, I would say you probably should give it, because we need somebody to hold these people accountable. And if you won't come out and take a phone call or reply to an email without just some bullshit just statements, we need to stop that, guys. And like my business partner General Flynn says, what's it, Steve? It's like local action equals national impact. Yes, that's what General Flynn always says to us when we're down there. So guys, here you go, Chris, and I hope you win this damn thing. Okay.
This song was written for Donald Trump by Bobby Palermo.
Open your eyes and realize we're falling fast. America the beautiful, God blessed us with this land. Let's set aside our differences and make America great again. Some look at us as if we're weak. The sleeping giant just woke up. We're on our feet. We still believe in the American dream, and it's something we demand. There's no other place on earth that's greater than this land. America, home of the brave and free.
God bless America. You know, before you say anything, today on my way to work, I was sitting at a light, and there was a van. I don't know what company it was. It was a company van. And on the back of the windows, there were two windows, and one had one of the MAGA, the fourth Wednesday, we have the MAGA meetings. He had a big sign on the back of his window, the MAGA, to advertise the MAGA. And I felt this feeling of pride seeing that. You know, so if you get one of those things, post it, show it to people, because it makes people feel good. I felt good to see somebody not afraid to show that they're for America, God bless America. Anyway, sorry.
That's okay. That's so true, because I'll tell you what, who got the Let's Go Brandon hat? Okay, I wear that all over when I travel. I've been to Ireland with it, Puerto Rico, you name it. Everybody knows what it means. So we're all on the same team, and it's not just in this country. The whole world knows what needs to be done. Now, Bobby Palermo, who wrote that song, gave it to me on DVDs back in 2016, and we sent that on to President Trump, okay? And somebody else is going to be using that now.
Hi.
I need to say something real quick. Chris, I want you to know that I believe in you so much, and I don't want Cliff Gephart outdoing me. So here's $1,000 to your campaign. Y'all need to vote for this guy.
Thank you.
Was your hand itching today?
So I'm Chris Gleason, and I'm going to be your next supervisor of elections. And I'm not going to let you down. So I'd like to start off with a poll, because my political mentor, Roger Stone, taught me something. And he's like, there's a lot of people out there, they go and they start a political campaign, and they go and they buy a bus and slap a sticker on it, and they go and buy signs, but they don't know what they're doing. You need to do some polls. And that always stuck with me. So I hired a pollster. Her name's Grace Gleason, and she's 12 years old, and she does a great job polling. And the poll that she likes to do is she likes to go over to perfect strangers, and she likes to ask them if they can help her with a poll. And she's like, my dad, he does stuff in politics and with elections, and he's teaching me about polling. And would you be so kind as to do a poll? And they're like, well, of course, little girl. And then she goes, so here's the poll question. Do you believe that there should or should not be cheating in elections? And then they look at her, and then they kind of chuckle, and they say, of course there's not supposed to be any cheating in elections. So I'm going to do a poll right now with a show of hands. Who thinks that there should be cheating in elections? You should. There should be cheating. Okay, so your hands. We're not at the Pinellas County Rec. Okay, so keep your hands down. So I know what you meant. I know what you meant. We did this poll the other day at the bank when we opened up the account to take money for contributions for this worthy endeavor. And so Grace did that to the guy that worked at the bank who's helping us. And he laughed, and he's like, the country that I came from before I came here, it was Venezuela. And so I know all about cheating with the machines. I know all about cheating with elections. And he's like, they do it there, they do it Cuba. And I looked at him deadpan in the face, and I said, what would you do if I told you that they're doing the same thing here in Pinellas County with the machines and with the cheating? And he put his hands down on the desk, and he looked at me, and he's like, I have a lot of energy, and I want to help you with your campaign. And then he helped us get the account open, and he's been taking good care of us ever since. There was a candidate over in Palm Beach County, and the people at his bank weren't so nice to him, and they kind of threw a little bit of election interference. They tried to throw a little election interference at us, too. and but our people at the bank helped us out. And we went back there to address that issue. I explained to them what we were doing and how important this was. And they're like, we know. We're all about it. We want to help you too. So we got the two other girls in the front of the bank. We got them, and then we got the branch manager. So now we got pretty much the whole branch, and they've all signed up to join our digital army. Okay? Now, I don't know if you know what our digital army is, but there's a QR code on your table there. There should be. And one is to donate money, and the other one is to join the digital army. Now, we do live in Biden inflation America, so things are tight. And if you can't give any money, you could be a part of the digital army. And we really need help there because big tech, they digitally assassinated me and my wife and a bunch of my friends in 2018, 3 weeks before the midterm elections, because we were so effective with the undecided voter, because we helped President Trump get elected in 2016. And so they took out all of us. And we've been fighting them ever since in various ways. But here's the thing. We need your help, okay? We need to help spread the message, and we have to do it on social media, but also off of social media. So if you sign up and join our digital army, okay, you'll get some messages from us via text message and via email. And what we're asking our members who are enlisting in this digital army is to pass our message along to other like-minded people you know here in Pinellas County and ask them to do the same thing. It's kind of like making a meme go viral on social media, but we're going to make the memes go viral via text message because we know the bad guys, the Center for Internet Insecurity and CISA and DHS, they're going to try to prevent us from getting our message out because they don't want to lose control. But all government power is derived from our consent, the consent of the governed. And we know that they don't have it because if they did have it, they wouldn't have to resort to propaganda, to censorship, and election rigging. And they wouldn't have to finance their campaigns using money from China and the globalists, because that's what they're doing. We raised enough money to get onto the ballot last week in a very, very short period of time. And we did that mindfully and we did it purposefully. And some people didn't like the fact that we waited till the very last minute and we gave them a surprise. But they weren't able to stop us. And they're not going to be able to stop us now either. Because I'm going to tell you right now, everybody that I have a conversation with, Republican, Democrat, or NPA, they all feel the same way that you people do here in this room. Nobody's happy with this ridiculousness. As a matter of fact, before I came here, I went and I had a portrait taken because I had to get some professional pictures taken for this race. And I went to a friend of mine who's a Democrat. He's a Democrat photographer in St. Pete. And I went and we talked. And he's like, man, you got my vote. And, you know, I think that's the great thing about President Trump, because he was an outsider, right? And he brought a lot of people who weren't Republicans to the Republican Party. I think that now's the time, right? 93% of everybody we poll, 93%, they all believe that there should be no cheating in elections. And last night, I spoke at a group, the Largo Republican group, phenomenal group, wonderful group of very brave ladies. And they took a stand because the establishment people, they don't want me. And so these very brave ladies took a stand, invited me, and I went and I talked there. And there was a guy there, and he said to me, what makes you think that you're gonna be able to win this? He was an establishment guy. And I said, I get 93%. I get the 93% of everybody who doesn't believe that there should be cheating in elections. And there's a lot of them. And there's a lot of MPAs that fit that bill. There's a lot of people who left the Republican Party because of things. And I think we can get them. I think we can get the Democrats, because at the end of the day, right, elections being free, fair, and transparent, that's a very nonpartisan issue. And if we believe that there should be no cheating in elections, and there's a lot of other people, you know what? Can anybody here tell me any other single issue in America today, any other single issue that 93% of Americans agree upon? Is there? I don't know of any. I don't know of any. And I think that's the message. You know, that's the message we need to bring people in, right? I mean, they psyoped everybody. You know, they've caused such division. But when you understand what they're trying to do, right? They're trying to weaponize the government, the Marxists. They want to separate us. They want to put everybody in a little box. I'm a special little snowflake, you know? But we're all Americans. At the end of the day, we're all Americans. And you know, should there be illegals voting? Absolutely not. And I'm going to do everything I can to prevent that. And the first thing that I'm going to do when I get into office is I'm going to cancel all of the contracts here in Pinellas County for the voting machines. And we can do it because VR systems and ES&S have broken about every election law that there is and every public records request law that there is, just like Julie Marcus and all of her co-conspirators. So we need you to join our digital army. We need you to support these wonderful groups that have me come speak. This fine gentleman right here, because he had me come up and speak before a lot of other groups did, and he needs your support, and the kids, you know, the kids need your support. And together, you know, the 93% of us, we can take back our country. I mean, this is good news. This is good news. So in closing, all right, vote by mail ballots are going to be going out soon. Don't vote by mail ballot, okay? It's a way to cheat. It's a way for them to disenfranchise your vote, okay? They're going to turn it into a blank ballot, and you'll never know. All right? The other thing, don't go out early and vote. I'm speaking heresy. I know this, okay? But I don't care because I know the data. And if you're going to give them a heads up on how many people are going to turn out, they're going to know what to train the algorithm on to rig the election. And you can't do that. So we have to go out, all right, election day only, and make our voices be heard, because this is our country and they do not have our consent. So thank you very much for coming out. Thank you for your support. Join our digital army. We need you. Thank you.